Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are Brazil. It's F2 time, and we are already underway for one shot quali. It is myself, Ocean Chief, who will be your commentator for this evening. I think I'm riding it alone, so bear with me as I get the session set up for today's race. And we've actually got two races. This is F2, one shot quali, followed by sprint race and then a feature race. We're currently watching the standing screen. We've got an Eagle Ghost here. He's currently last position, so let's go up front. Noah currently leading the way on his lap. Uh, yep, he's looking good for pole position, but he's still got a few corners to navigate here. Run Cruiser looking good as well. Tenari as well, up in the front end of the grid and looking good. Just one more corner to navigate for Noah, and he does that quite nicely, carrying a lot of speed through there, just as you'd like it to be. And yep, no crossing line, and it is a P1 for him. Pole position, who's going to get P2? It is Run Cruiser. Tenari, not much changing about. Usually you see a lot of shuffling about the order there. Eagle Goose was disqualified due to invalidated lap time, so we'll start at the back of the grid. But yes, time for a breather as the guys look at the grid order. And yeah, sprint race will be reverse off the top 10 that we see here. So that's my understanding of it. So it looks like Lepson, I think, is going to start pole. I could be wrong. We're about to find out. Two drivers, actually more than two drivers, not able to set a time. Basco are reserved for today. Meepo and Eagle Ghost. And yeah, this should be an interesting race. Looks like the top four here, or sorry, top five were able to get into the 17s. But fairly close grid in the top 10 anyway. F2 cars can be a bit of a handful to get to grips with, as we're about to see as the sprint race is about to get underway. Not much to do race strategy wise. It is a no stopper race. You can stop if you want to, but of course it will cost you a lot of time. And I will be what's the word? Yeah, I will be speaking about Brazil, some random facts about Brazil, just to fill the air, as I am solo commentating, so I do need a bit of help, and I've got Chat AI providing some rather interesting information about Brazil, but that will be for quiet periods only, such as this. Yeah, Brazil, the world's fifth largest country, and the largest in South America. It's a triangle-shaped country with a 4,655-mile coastline, but enough about that. Let's get underway. The lights are up, and we're about to get the race. Oh, and yes, Lepson is leading the way, and someone went into the wall straight away there. That was Joel with a horrendous start. Lost the back end, went into the pit wall, and he drops down to P1. Lepson leading the way then. Yes, he is still in the lead, heading into Sector 2, but he does have Schoolline right on his rear. And Schoolline going to use some of that DRS to get a move on here. He does go down the inside, has a look, but Lepson able to carry enough speed. But Schoolline sticking it in the inside, holding his line. And it's going to be too wide as they come up to this right-hander. It's a very fast right-hander. Looks like Schoolline has this move done. It took a number of corners, and Lepson is coming under attack from Tenari now, and there's a car swinging out onto the grass, able to hold it. I think that might have been Eagle Ghost. And P11, yeah, able to get himself back up to speed there, and yeah, a number of moves going on down the order. Run Cruiser, oh, and there's a big pile up at the back. We definitely see a yellow flag, but are we going to see a safety car, a virtual safety car? We are not, it seems, for now, but yeah, lots of cars tangled up in that. I think McKender was one of them. So lots happening early on in this race, but Schoolline taking the lead now, able to stretch his legs a little bit with Tenari in tow. Lepson holding on for dear life under that P3 spot as Horizon is all over him, and Noah as well, looking very feisty in this race. Thought he was going to get a run on the V card, but it is not to be. Iceland as well. We need to keep an eye on him. We know he's a mover and a shaker, and he is going to attack early here. He did message before the race to say he's just got back from work and jumped into the cockpit, so had no time to warm up. So this is essentially his warm up for now. Touge looking pretty good there. P11 for him. It's unusual to see him so far down. Might have got caught up in that initial tussle on the start of the second lap there. And we do see a move from Run Cruiser as well, who has looked very, very pacey lately, especially in the first race of the season. F2 was enjoying himself out there. Did get driver of the day, so he is definitely one to watch as well. And Noah is out. Noah is onto the grass, able to swing it round and get back on track as McKenna drives through his ghosted car. So a few drivers struggling out there in the infield section. I'm going to bring up some of the some information on tires. Yep, everybody on mediums. And McKenna 10-second penalty, ignoring yellow flag. I imagine that was for passing Noah there, and the game is registered that as an illegal pass, but I think that will be removed after the race if it's reported. Wirch is getting overtaken here by Touge. The reason why Wirch off track and getting back up to speed. Yeah, very easy to do that for the Senna S era and the first sequence of corners. And again, Run Cruiser making up more positions now. A move on Lepson. And Lepson dropping down to P4. Horizon, however, has dropped off massively. The gap from him to Lepson 1.2. So Lepson should hold on to this P4 position for now, and maybe focus on getting that rhythm of this track, as Run Cruiser is looking to catch up with the guys ahead, and he seems like he's doing just that. And you can see Tenari and School Line up ahead there, might start the fight, and it's Lepson off. Oh my word, coming out of the final corner there, gets on the power, and the turbo kicked in, the back end kicks out. McKenna now up to P9, and Run Cruiser, look, that's ominous. That is ominous. He is catching these guys ahead, and the guys ahead are starting to fight, which obviously is great news for Run Cruiser. And we may see a move here from Tenari and X Crystals as well, getting a move, but I'm going to stick here with Tenari. Oh, he's bump drafting School Line here. Wasn't wanting to go for that move for whatever reason. And Tenari looking good here for a podium spot, in contention for the win as well. So all to play here, play for here. I'm running in lap 4 of 14 of this sprint race. Any other close battles throughout the field? I'm seeing John Wick at the back here. John Wick very close under the back of Lepson. He is, just to show you how far Lepson has dropped back. Lepson swinging out wide. John Wick going down the inside, and Lepson having the inside line now. John Wick looking very pacey here, and might go for a move here, but sticking behind for now. Might be setting him up for a move onto the straight. John Wick's back end getting very loose here, and he needs to stick with Lepson here and keep tight on that rear box, because DRS is key here, as I'm missing all the action up ahead. Run Cruiser now up to P1. Oh my word, that was in one straight and one corner. I told you to keep an eye on this guy, folks. And it's not over yet, it seems. Got a freeway battle for the lead. You love to see it, as Tenari does indeed stick his nose in on Run Cruiser. Run Cruiser being left just enough room. School Line, however, boxed in, not able to capitalise on that increase of pace over the front two drivers here, and it's getting very tight between these two. Look at that, Run Cruiser just about feeding in front of Tenari as they make their way for this twisty section of Horizon, the first with a 3-second time penalty. Interesting stuff. Yep. And McKenna picking up another position there. Oh, and Touge losing out to Noah. So still plenty of moves going on here throughout this field, and we're not even at the halfway point of the race. Race starting to settle down a little bit here, but we are seeing this freeway battle play out here lap after lap. Who's going to go for a move? It's Tenari goes for a move and Run Cruiser's on the inside, and Schoolline tries to follow. He tries to hang around the outside, but Run Cruiser's having none of it. Feeds into P2. So Tenari in the lead of this race for now, with Run Cruiser in tow. And look at that, Icewind up to P4. Missed all of that, but Icewind has made his way up to P4 with a bit of a train behind him, X-Crystal's Basco Horizon. But I kind of want to stick with this lead pack of 3. This is for the win, and yeah, looking like some fun action wheel to wheel here between these 3 guys. Very respectful stuff for the meantime, and John Wick and Lepson going side by side. This is a fast right-hander as John Wick takes that nicely. A lot of momentum there in the favour of John Wick. Lepson ran out wide, and Joel gets himself a time penalty in P15. Although he is starting to catch up a little bit and is no longer last. Wirch is unfortunately that man taking that position as we go back up front. It's Run Cruiser, and it's a switch around of what we saw last time round, and Run Cruiser makes that look very easy. Oh, and we're seeing a mistake from Tenari. Gets a wheel on the dirt, has to run very wide there. Joins the track, gets 3-second time penalty for that off-track excursion. And I hate to see that after Tenari was running so well, and yeah, that time penalty may come into contention later in the race, as Icewind actually getting overtaken here behind. Oh, Icewind go down the inside. What a brave move there from Icewind. He did get overtaken, but quickly gets it back from X Crystals. Stuck it in. It looked like there wasn't a car width there for him, but there obviously was, as he made it stick. What a move from Icewind. You love to see it. You love to see it. And yeah, John Wick now battling with Eagle Ghost, who's the teammate of Lepson, who's not far behind. So we've got a freeway battle here for P12, would you believe it or not? X Crystals wants that position of Icewind, but Icewind holding strong for now. We may see a run into the first corner. Yes, DRS is pretty OP here, and yep, X Crystals getting that move done with the help of DRS. Icewind down to P5 for now. Oh, Icewind getting a nice run out of turn 2. Down this straight, has DRS open. Goes down the inside, positioning himself quite well for this overtake. Yep, and gets it done nice. And oh, and there was a bit of a tap there that meant Icewind had to correct the steering and runs out wide. So he does indeed lose that position. That was due to that contact. It is not a contact sport, remember that, guys. You see plenty of it during races. There is plenty of wheel banging going on and the various battles taking place here today in Brazil. But up front, oh, Run Cruiser. That looks like a horrendous corner to put the throttle down on. Car looking very loose, and we are heading towards lap. Yeah, we are in lap 8, so we're heading towards lap 9 of this race. The tires will be starting to feel a wee bit ropey, and yeah, Tenari is dropping down the order a little bit, but still has a podium spot by 0.4 of a second as Run Cruiser gets overtaken by Schoolline, but Run Cruiser sticking it down the inside, and Schoolline getting the better line on the run out. And we still may see a move here from Run Cruiser, as DRS is pretty powerful, and you do have a bit of slipstream as well. So yep, Run Cruiser pulls out, goes down the inside, nice and tidy, looks like it's done, and yep, looking pretty good, but I'm keeping an eye on Icewind here. Icewind getting past X Crystals once again. And what has happened here? Run Cruiser and Schoolline, it looks like side by side through these fast right-handers. Very sketchy stuff. You have to really trust in your ability to hang it around there, and respect between these drivers off the charts as they're going side by side through most of the first sector and second sector. And really, I think you want to line it up so you're behind the lead car on to the last lap of the race and get that move done under a DRS straight, and that's it done. Basco picking position, sorry, a penalty. He is P5, so P5, P6 have penalties, P3 penalty. McKenna with a 10-second penalty should get that removed. Joel as well, penalty, but let's have a look again what's happening up front. School line now behind Run Cruiser, and not able to get that move done with the help of DRS, but we may see a move here on the second DRS straight. Oh, and there is a move. Crystal dropping down the order. He is now P8. What has happened there? Meepo started at the back end of the grid, now up to P9 and all over the back of X Crystal. So plenty of battling on track here today. Basco able to keep up with Icewind. Icewind, look. Oh, McKender, that is a valid penalty there for McKender. 3 seconds for him. Meepo might actually end up in a good position here if he's able to chip away at that gap. 3.7 between him and McKender, but a lot of those guys ahead with that 3-second time penalty. So he just needs to get the head down, but he does have crystals keeping him honest here. And Skullline, Run Cruiser, the battle continues between these two, and something has happened because yeah, Tanari is closing up on these guys, so all this battling between them is hurting him a little bit. But I mean, with Tanari with that 3-second penalty, it does add an extra bit of a cushion. As I thought Tanari was going wide there again, but it's just some drivers like to get on that really that bright yellow part on the right hand side of the track just to get a bit of yeah, a bit of bit of a better entry into that turn 1 corner. That's a tongue twister. Who's this? Horizon McKender. Horizon getting the move done on McKender. That was with DRS, but look at this. McKender is bump drafting him through this section of the track, and we're seeing rain on McKender's screen here. So the rain is coming down pretty heavy. What are we going to see from the top guys? This is interesting stuff. This throws a spanner in the works. Are these guys going to be able to get to the end on these dry tires, or are they going to switch to the wet tires? The thing is, if you're going to go to wet tires, you might want to do that early. You might want to do that this lap, although the track does not look that wet. And McKender again, another 3-second time penalty, so he's obviously pushing just a little bit too much in this race. Not seeing any gamblers out there on track today. No one pitting. Oh, we are indeed. It's is that Icewind? I saw pull into the pits. No, it is McKender who pulls into the pits and retires. I thought he was going to put on wet tires there. That would have been interesting. The track's still looking pretty dry. I think these guys are going to be able to get to the end. It looks like a very light smattering of rain. And I'm missing some action here as Icewind and Basco going at it. Icewind trying to hold on to this P4 position. He doesn't have a time penalty. He is within that 3-second reach of Tenari. And Basco behind him does have a time penalty as well. So Icewind is theoretically on for a podium. And we're seeing Joel is off as well. He's off and DNF'd. And Lepson did pull into the pits here and put on those wet tires. But I think the track is not wet enough for him to fully capitalize on that. Although we will keep an eye on that gap from him to Eagle Goose, the next dry tire runner. But yeah, up front, Run Cruiser looking pretty good for the win here. Schoolline still keeping his oar in. And he still has that DRS. DRS has not been deactivated here, and Run Cruiser is probably praying for that message to come up on screen that DRS is disabled. Basco was able to get past Icewind, and in fact, look at that gap from Basco to Tenari, 4.2. So that podium for Icewind no longer in place, although he should still push. You never know what's going to happen up ahead. If anybody is actually watching this stream right now live, if you let me know the audio levels are okay. Um, and obviously keep me on my toes here if I miss anything, as I probably and often do and will and shall. Kind of want to stick with this lead pack, but I am seeing battles throughout the grid here. Surprisingly, lots of battles. Actually, there's a big battle brewing here for P6. Lipson getting a time penalty, so those wet tires not paying off. Worth a gamble. Worth a gamble, but yeah, it has not paid off for Lipson today. Started first, currently in last position, and we'll be hoping for better things in the race, the feature race, as Run Cruiser gets the move on. And I think that was with the use of DRS. Run Cruiser getting that position back from Run Cruiser getting that position back from Run Cruiser. Yeah, that makes sense. Run Cruiser getting that position back from Skullline, taking the lead of the race. But this is the last lap, ladies and gentlemen. This is for all the marbles. And a move back there as well. Icewind getting overtaken once again by Basco. So Icewind was able to get the position back, but Basco on the second DRS straight getting a move done. Noah going for a move on Crystals here. It's all kicking off. I kind of want to stay with the lead too, but there is this battle here as well. Crystals right on the back, but it's going to be a daring move if you pull it off in wet conditions in the infield portion of this track. And we'll go up front as the lead cars are making their way through the final corners. And this is indeed a final corner for Run Cruiser. It looks like he's going to win this race unless Skullline can beat him to the line. No ERS in these cars, so he will get a little bit of DRS once he passes that line. You see a DRS flipping open, but Run Cruiser will cross the line in P1, and it's a glorious victory for the man from Holland. That rhymed, and you know it. I made it rhyme anyway. I've made it happen. Skullline P2. Tanari picking up that podium position, and fair play to him for sticking in there. It looks like it was slipping out of his grasp after that 3-second time penalty, but look at that. Icewind P4 in the end. Basco with that time penalty dropping down to P5. Meepo, big winner from not having a penalty, and picks up a few positions on the line. Meepo P6, Noah P7, Crystals in the end P8, Touche P9, and John Wick P10. Nice race there. Camera looking very shaky out there today. Blustery conditions, I'm sure, in that helicopter. And we're just waiting for Lepson to cross the line. Those tires were a big gamble. It didn't pay off. But he does, of course, have the full feature race to make his comeback. Now that he's up to speed. The game awarding Run Cruiser with the driver of the day. Say I wouldn't disagree with that from what I saw. But yeah, I think out of all the drivers, Run Cruiser, last week and now this race, on the tear, seems to enjoy these cars, and definitely suits his style of driving, it seems. He was made to work for it today, though, by Skullline and Tunari, but Skullline taking it right to the line, but Run Cruiser taking the top step there in the end. And there you go, top 8 positions. Do pick up the points, and there you have it. Run Cruiser 11 points so far. Skullline 8, Tenari 6, Iceland 5 points. Brazil's national dish is feijoada, a hearty stew made with black beans and pork. Not a big fan of pork, I have to say. But I'm sure it's lovely. Lovely jubbly. Brazil was the first country to allow women to serve in its armed forces. Anyway, getting back to the race. I'll give you one more. Brazil's football team has won the World Cup 5 times, which is a record. There you go. Drivers now selecting their strategy for the race. It is looking a bit grey if we're looking at the weather system. May be rain in this race. There will be a one-stopper if it is a dry race. Sorry, I'm distracted by facts. Brazil has the most species of monkeys in the world. That's pretty cool. Um, yeah, the drivers taking their time here, selecting their strategy. So here we go. Lights are up. We're about to get underway for the feature race in Brazil. Let's go, Noah, taking... Oh, my word. And Runkers are getting a stellar start there, and that means he's going to be leading this pack into turn one. Noah caught napping a little bit there, or Runkers are just on it today, it seems. And let's see what's happening down the order here. Mikander P5 getting overtaken by Tenari. And yeah, no DRS until lap 2. Let's get some information up on our screens regarding tires, etc., etc. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, good mix here, it seems. Half the grid going for softs, half going for mediums. So that might explain Run Cruiser's pretty epic start there. The soft tires definitely give you that little bit more grip, and that was enough for him to take the lead and the lead of this race. And yeah, he'll be looking to stretch his legs out a little bit, build up that gap, and make these soft tires really work in this early phase of the race. We do have 20 laps this time round. And Icewind got overtaken there by Schoolline, who finished P2 in the sprint race. Obviously has pace in that car, and is trying to make it count early days here. As, oh my word, Icewind is giving off. There is his car to his side. There must have been a bit of contact there as Basco on the sauce here, trying to send it up the inside. Icewind braking rather late, trying to hang around the outside, but yeah, you can just see that superior grip of Basco's soft tires working for now, and yeah, Icewind will be looking just to keep up with this bunch as he will be switching to softs later on. And there's a bit of a mistake there. That's Lepson, and it looks like the tiniest mistake is just going to cost you big time here, especially early in the race while the pack is bunched up. But yeah, we're I should really switch the view. I do like the onboards, but I do like the... It's a bit claustrophobic at times. I'm saying that as a cockpit cam user. Ooh, Touge, what a move there! As I'm blathering away, Touge gets himself up to P7 with a nice little move down the inside. Not somewhere you usually see an overtake here in the F2 cars, but Touge is on it, it seems. So we'll keep an eye on him. He does have a bit of a gap until the next car ahead, which is Mikander on those mediums, but Touge on those softs might be able to make them work. As X Crystal's setting the pace here, early days, and X Crystal's right on the back of Noah. What to say, X Crystal's looking pretty good here, and we do have a car off. It's Horizon dropping down the order, and yeah, falling down the order fairly quickly is Horizon. Had a big issue there, and you can see from wing damage to that car, he will ultimately have to pit as another battle up ahead is Icewind and Schoolline. Icewind getting past now. I don't know why the camera is shaking so much, but there you go. Icewind just able to keep ahead there. Oh, and Schoolline is thinking about sending it down the inside, but Icewind closing the door off nicely, and going a bit deep there was Icewind, but gets a run on the inside line. This battle is heating up nicely between these two. And of course, these are both medium runners, so this counts. This does count, and will pay off later on for whoever comes out tops. Cruiser not able to build that gap up too much between him and Noah. Notoriously difficult to break DRS range in this game. Seems the same is true for the F2 series. And I want to have a look at Tenari here, right on the back of X Crystals. Literally nose to gear, and oh my word, we're seeing some rain come down as well. And just as I spotted that rain, Tenari making a small mistake. I don't know if that was dirty error related, but he drops off the back of X Crystals for now. Ooh, and Lepson as well. Lepson is going for a move here. Is he going for a move? He's on the inside of someone. I'm not sure if he was going for a move or he's getting a move done on him. Touge on the outside, almost free wide there. Oh, and Lepson bouncing out to the outside. Lucky to get back on track, and there is some contact there. Looking at a little bit clumsy as the rain has come down. Lepson with a absolute sand on the inside here. He's been overtaken by a bunch of cars, but is fighting hard against Icewind, who has actually ultimately got past Lepson. Lepson struggling a little bit in this early phase of the race. And interesting stuff. These soft tire runners, I think, yeah, softs were the right tire to start on, seeing as we do have rain coming down pretty heavy here, and we're on to the start finish straight again. I imagine we're going to see a move or two happening here. Is there anything happening up front? It's Noah on Run Cruiser guarding the inside line, but it wasn't enough. Oh, and Noah going deep into turn one, and almost cost him there, and X Crystals as well got put off by what was happening ahead, and wasn't able to capitalize on that situation. Run Cruiser, however, is sticking with it, and that mistake from Noah has cost him a little bit, and Lepson is dropping down the order massively, so he's had an off. He has front wing damage as well. Wirch as well getting overtaken by Basco as the order is sorting itself out. These conditions must be pretty tricky to navigate as Run Cruiser's back end, as I join him, getting very loose. Loosey-goosey, as they say. A halo shot from Run Cruiser showing he has clear. Oh, and the back end is getting very loose again. Yeah, these conditions, I think it's just going to get wetter and wetter. The rain light at the moment, but does seem to be getting a little bit heavier as Noah, oh my word, Run Cruiser getting on the power early there and almost losing the back end, able to control it. And I think we're going to see a move here from Noah. And we're seeing a driver pitting. It's X Crystals going into the pits. He's going for an early gamble as Noah does indeed get that move done. And he is now sandwiched between the two V cars. X Crystals seems to be the only driver in the top 10 to pit. A few other drivers at the back end of the grid also coming in and putting on wet tires, I'd imagine. I have to say, the rain isn't heavy though. I think it's right to stay out. That may be a bit of a bad gamble as Lepson pulls into the pits, gets a 10-second time penalty. Missing some action here. It looks like Schoolline and Basco going at it. Basco not able to. Oh, he's still side by side. He's run the outside. And that's Schoolline in the blue car. Sorry, on the outside. As Basco getting an inside line. And Schoolline running wide, getting a 3-second time penalty for his efforts. Bravely holding on to the throttle there. And yeah. Yeah. And casually miss Noah spinning in the lead. Yep, I did indeed. Yep. Apologies for that. Yeah, there's a lot going on, and I'm on my own, Speedy, so keep me on my toes, please. But yeah, Noah down to P4, was in the lead, or was contending for the lead. John Wick, time penalty. Track still not looking wet enough for wet tires, but those rain droplets do look bigger than usual. And we're seeing a move here from is that Meepo or yeah, Meepo. Oh my word! Looked like that move caught him off guard as well as he is trying to navigate past the car of Basco. able to do that on the outside. And Meepo up to P6. I think these soft tires maybe have seen better days. A lot of drivers pitting there. Icewind was one of them, the top guy so far. 2 have pitted. He goes on to wet tires. And I'm interested to see how that plays out. I want to see as well what's happening at the front end of this grid. There's Tenari right on the back of Run Cruiser. Yeah, I think the issue we're seeing here is obviously it is wet out there, but also the soft tires are starting to fall off. And yeah, that's why we're seeing Run Cruiser. Ooh, there we go. DRS disabled. The cars will all be peeling into the pits now, I'd imagine. No point staying out and risking it all. And risking a huge time loss. As we see a car off there, I think it's Lepson. I'm just seeing it on the track map. Yeah, Lepson is in. Yep, is off the track, but he's managed to get himself back on track. Hopefully the other cars are able to navigate him. But yeah, everybody pulling into the pits. Who doesn't pull into the pits? It's McKender. Big risk here from McKender. But probably, was that because he didn't want to... Yeah, I was going to say he didn't want to double stack, but his teammate has already pitted. McKender just risking it for a biscuit, it seems, as Lepson does indeed retire. He's had enough. Calling it quits. No game audio as well. Great. Are you kidding me? Wow. Awesome. Let me just quickly fix that. Yeah, wait up. Let's see if that works. Hopefully, maybe. I don't think it is, you know. Oh, there we go. Let me turn that up a little bit. Yeah, thanks, Speedy. It's always great to know that you've just been doing comms for 40 minutes and there's no game audio and no one informed you before the glorious Speedy showed up. And yeah, let's get back to it anyway. McKender staying out, but obviously most likely losing a lot of time here. Run Cruiser. Yeah, I'm just looking at the gap from Run Cruiser to Meepo. He's right on the back end of Meepo according to this. I don't see Meepo. Wait a minute. What am I doing there? Whoa. I'm looking at Run Cruiser. Oh, yeah. So Run Cruiser. Yeah. I think the timing board might be messed up, or I'm just reading it wrong. As we see Noah comes into the pits there. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the timing. It says Run Cruiser is 0.4 behind Noah. I think it's just because everybody's pitting and it's trying to sort itself out. But yeah, Run Cruiser up to P3, effectively leading this race with Tenari right behind him. I'm wanting to know what the hell McKender is thinking here. He's stayed out. He's committed to this strategy. I thought he was going to just stay out for a lap extra, but no, he's doing something different here. And Meepo is the same. Different team, but same strat, it seems. But yeah, that gap from Run Cruiser to Meepo, 14.7. It is closing, or is slowly, I was about to say slowly, it's quickly coming down. It's already down under 14 seconds. Seen a yellow flag out there as well. I don't know who that is. I think it might be Horizon struggling to get up to speed again. But yeah, that gap, Run Cruiser. Whoa, wait. That gap was 13 seconds, now it's 19. The standings are going crazy here. And that would be because McKender apparently spun. And yeah, Run Cruiser going to be leading this race very soon, I would imagine. Yeah, that was McKender. I was looking at the track map. That was McKender's span at the final corner, it seems. Plenty of yellow flags out there. There's another spinner. It's John Wick, I think. Yep, he's had a big spin. We're seeing a MP car going very slowly out there as well. Not sure what's going on with that car, but look how closely Run Cruiser is catching up with McKender. Visual confirmation. Should be able to see him just up the road here. Tenari's still in it for the win. Express is not far off. Noah as well, despite that mistake. Not too far away. Yeah, and like clearly staying out on those mediums was a bad move. McKender just running off track there, as if to illustrate that point. John Wick is out of the session, retires in the pits, but look at Meepo. Struggling out there on those dry tires in these wet conditions. McKenna has dropped down to P8 already, and has no doubt given up the ghost here as Run Cruiser easily navigates his way past Meepo. Let's say Meepo has to pit. He's probably hoping this rain eased off and he's going to switch on the soft tires, but no. And Meepo's staying out yet again, so that's obviously a bad call, but he's sticking with it nonetheless. Maybe hoping for a safety car or something, a Christmas miracle perhaps. But Run Cruiser looking good here in P1. We've got Tenari in P2. The gaps are starting to open up a little bit. I say a little bit, it's over 1 second between most drivers on the grid. McKenna retiring once again, making a double retirement in the sprint and feature, and Meepo getting overtaken once again here by another car. Six Crystals up to P3, and Noah as well making quick work of Meepo. Meepo actually becoming a bit of a hazard out on track. His schooling as well finds himself perched behind Meepo, and clearly Meepo trolling out there today, I think. No point staying out on these dry tires any longer. But Tenari is keeping this race alive. It isn't over yet. Run Cruiser hoping to get the double. He won this sprint, and he's hoping to do the double, get the feature race under his belt as well, as John Wick retiring from the session down to 12 drivers. And yeah, we do have a three-way battle for P3, a two-way battle for P1, and yeah, the guys behind, all pretty big gaps, with Meepo dotted in there, dropping down the order like a stone. And Lapson and Chat says, damn, I might go pro. Yeah, I mean, pro noob for sure, bro. From what I saw, maybe some practice. Meepo retires in the pits in the end, and we're seeing some pretty close stuff here from Crystal's Noah trying to go around the outside, but there wasn't any room. But there was a gap there, and he went for it in this fast right-hander. The inside line is pretty OP, as he gets the inside line for the next corner. Extras will try and hold it run the outside for this inside, sorry. But Noah is going to come out the winner here, as he does pull ahead. For now, it's B car, P2, P3. And Lepson, these are representative of my tears over your performance. This wet stuff you see in front of you, this is me weeping at your performance. But anyway, oh my word, I just missed something big there. X-Crystal's obviously making a mistake, dropping down the order. Now Skolon is all over his rear gearbox, and has got the inside line. That is pretty good. Is he able to hold it though? There is a bit of contact as X-Crystals turns in, and I think that contact allowed X-Crystals just to power ahead and keep that position. But Skolon feisty in that blue car, the ART. Very brave on the brakes, his school line, and he does get that move in the end. X-Crystal's struggling a little bit. School line does have that time penalty, so can't afford to hang about. And I'll tell you what, Tenari is getting that gap. He's chipping away at that gap. Was over 1 second, now under 1 second, but it's going to be a hard one to pull off. There is 7 laps left after this one. So anything can happen in theory. Just keep an eye on that gap for now. So we got out there Crystal School Line. There's a battle for P4 there. There's a battle for P7 as well. Wirch, who's Lepson's boyfriend, is yeah, he's doing well to hold on to that P7 position, but Basco is lining him up. We may see a bit of a ding-dong happen here between these two drivers. Yep, Basco going for it, down the inside, made that look easy, and Wirch will be looking to get that position back, but unable to do so for the time being. Sorry, I was just checking my phone there. It's coming up with some interesting facts about Brazil. It has 4 time zones. Bloody huge, in other words. And it shares the Iguazu Falls with Argentina, the world's largest waterfall system with over 270 waterfalls. So if you're into waterfalls, that's the place to go. Looks to me like it's still about waiting for DRS to deactivate, activate. No skill to it at Lepson. Wow. What a takedown. It's kicking off in chat. China has 1 time zone as a counter to that. Interesting. Capoeira is a unique blend of dance, acrobatics and martial arts that originated in Brazil during the era of slavery. And as a fan of martial arts, I'd say it's quite fun. I mean, who doesn't like the idea of dancing and fighting at the same time? Race is starting to settle down here, so yeah, apologies for this random information, but I'm just fascinated by it myself. It has an estimated 4 million plant and animal species. I don't know if that's good. Maybe, apparently it is. It sounds good. Probably about to have much less in the coming years, unfortunately, due to the ways of the human beings devastating the rainforests and basically being absolute savages. Tenari, 4 laps to go. Is he going to mount a challenge on the Roan Cruiser for the lead of this race? He does have his teammate just not too far behind. Probably not able to catch up from that position unless these guys make a mistake. But else we got Icewind has closed up on the back of I was going to say ice crystals, X crystals. We may see a move here for P5. Icewind, of course, carrying that time penalty, but never know, anything can happen. X Crystals could pick up a time penalty for himself. Brazil was originally named Santa Cruz, which means divine wood of the cross. It is now known as Brazil, which is a wood with a brazen red hue that we use to dye fabric. X Crystals looking very slippy out there. Ooh! Bit of a handful to control, obviously the turbo of these cars yeah, it can be a bit of a, especially I imagine I've never driven an F2 car, but just looking at it, oh, X Crystal, oh my word, almost went completely off track there. His back end still loose as a goose. Why are goose Why are geese, sorry, loose? Why are they known as loose? Brazil is the largest exporter of coffee. I think there's a coffee brand where they, whatever it is the plant is eaten by an animal, which then poops it out, and then they use those as coffee beans. And apparently it tastes like shit. Sorry. Dad joke. It is true though about the poopy coffee bean. What have we got here? Tenare is closing up. We have a couple of laps left of this race. We may yet see a contention for the lead of this race. Tenare, he's going to have to pull out all the stops to get this done. Are those, by the way, good waterfalls to do shrooms? I think any waterfalls good. I mean, if you were to do shrooms, I imagine what you would say is any waterfall is a good waterfall to do shrooms. Although probably best not, stay away from the water. I've seen like people on the, on the edge of a waterfall, chilling out, and I'm like, I would never do that. Not a chance. Not a chance. Yeah, big gaps, big gaps, big gaps. I don't like to see it, but there's huge gaps everywhere. Not much happening out there. We're still keeping an eye on this lead battle. Touge as well is catching up in the back of Joel, who's currently running P10. Brazil is the second most sexually active country. How do they work that out? Does that just mean they have the most babies? Wow. Okay. Touge closing up in the back of Joel here, but not able to get a move done there. It has a couple of laps left to do so. Let's have a look at Tenare. I'm going to join us on board, see if we can see any weaknesses from Run Cruiser. Is he struggling out there? Judging by the pace of the car, it looks like he's doing alright. He's found the rhythm. Brazil is home to an island of snakes. I had, whatever that said, also known as Snake Island, that sounds much better, is off the coast of Brazil and has one of the highest concentrations of venomous snakes in the world. It sounds like hell. Just unable to close this gap up, it seems. Just doing his darndest to bring home P2 after what's been a pretty solid performance from him. Yeah, the game balance between broadcast and onboards is absolutely terrible. Tenare P2, oh, he is closing up. This is the last lap. He is pushing for all he's worth, but it's making him, it's costing him as he's making mistakes due to pushing so hard. 0.8 is the gap. I don't think that's going to close down anytime soon. He's obviously trying to heap the pressure on Run Cruiser in the hopes that Run Cruiser makes a mistake, but Run Cruiser's car looks planted for the time being. I don't see him struggling too much out there. As who else we got? There is a battle for P5 on track, but Icewind has that time penalty. X-Crystal's probably going to pick that position up unless he makes a mistake on the final lap of the race. But yeah, Tenari is trying to pull out all the stops. Is he going to be able to do it? I don't think so, but this is what you have to do. You have to keep the pressure on and the back end swinging out there as Tenari getting on the par early, and he's throwing the kitchen sink at it, and he doesn't want to lose the car at this portion of the race, obviously giving away P2, but he's just got one hill to climb, and I have to say, very dominant performance today from Run Cruiser. Congrats to him as he is going to cross the line, take the feature race win, makes it a double, and Tenari coming across the line P2, and his teammate in P3, so big points for the V cars. School P4, Icewind P5. Icewind is going to look at that position. 2 X-Crystals, I would imagine. Yep, he does indeed, but Icewind finishes P6 in the end. Basco P7. With Wirch P8. And Eagle goes P9. Joel was able to bring that P10 home. Looks like Touge pushed him all the way. The battle for P10, often forgotten about, but can be one of the best ones on track, or I would like to think so anyway, because I often find myself in those battles. Yeah, am I kidding? There you go. Yeah, you type into Google weird facts about Brazil, and it says Brazil is the longest country in the world, 2,800 miles. I wouldn't say that's weird. It's interesting, but not weird. I'm looking for weird, freaky stuff about Brazil. I'm sure there's lots. Like Brazilians don't typically marry until the late 20s. Anyway, enough about Brazil. It's been a great day for the V team. Invicta. I just read on their race suit. It is Invicta. It is not the V team. But yeah, Run Cruiser taking all the points for both races. Leads the championship and 36 points here today. Tenari 24 points. So solid performances from him. Scoreline P3 in the end. P4 for Noah overall, Basco P5, X-Crystals P6, Icewind P7, Wirch P8, Mipu P9, and then you've got Eagle Goose there P10, with Joel picking up one solitary point for that P10, finishing the feature race. And that's it. I think that's it. I think that's it. Are we gonna get an interview? I don't know. Are we? Shall we? Uh, yeah. Oh yeah, I just realized I'm not even in the commentators booth. Yeah, that's it. It's been a it's been a pleasure calling comms for F2. Even though there's only you watching, Speedy, I do appreciate it. But yeah, Tuna, I'm secretly supporting him too. He is definitely worthy of that P2 spot. We may see him contend for wins in the future, and maybe make a charge on the championship in F2. Otherwise, Run Cruiser may well run away with it. No domination from Justin this season, as he is not in this series. And yeah, next week I'll have a look and see where we're heading to next week in the F2 series. Uh, F2. F2 is heading to Imola next week, then Belgium. That'll be interesting. Imola, very yeah, it'll be an interesting track in the F2 cars. I always think of it as a narrow track and difficult to pass unless it's the start finish straight. F2 cars. Going to be super interesting. See how they perform out there. And is Run Cruiser's run of incredible drives going to continue? Definitely, this series does seem to suit his driving style. Is anybody going to be able to rise up and contend for the championship? We will have to tune in and find out. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for the comments and chat, guys. And we'll be back next week for F1, which is heading to Abu Dhabi. So be sure to tune in for that one. And hopefully next time I'll get myself a co-commentator for the F2 series. Otherwise, I will, yeah, I'll just be reading out random facts about Imola next week. So, yeah, thanks everybody once again, and good night.